is up, you guys, and welcome to the Chosen League podcast, where fire sports content is the name of the game. I'm your host, Devon, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you guys about last night's game, the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Denver Nuggets. But before we get into all that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. Let's get into it. The Denver Nuggets came out victorious in a 115-107 victory, just basically tying the series. It's even right now. Minnesota, they will head back to Denver. So Denver, winning both games in Minnesota. And it was really a tough one for, Minnesota. They were making a comeback, but it just didn't work in their favor. But before we get in, I go more in depth about this game. Question for discussion: with this series tied, does Minnesota have an opportunity to beat the defending champs? Honestly, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Do they have an op? Does Minnesota have an opportunity to still beat the defending champs despite the series being tied? And so I want to start off with the second half with the Timberwolves. For one, Gobert was at the free throw line and he missed both key free throws. And this is what I was talking about. And I've always said this in my other episodes, especially with the Knicks, especially when the Lakers played Denver. It came down to that situation down the stretch, and it was a clutch situation. Each possession count. Each possession counts. If you mess up on at least 3 to 4 possessions in a playoff game, it's pretty much over. Especially if it boils down to making a free throw. Um, Anthony Edwards blocked Jamal Murray's shot while he was going into the paint. Timberwolves also struggled to stop Murray on pick and roll situations. And this is the thing about Jamal Murray and the Denver Nuggets. The ball movement that they have, having KCP, having Nikola Jokic, who has the court vision, the IQ, he's able to set screens. Jamal Murray is able to use his quickness to get around the screen and pull up for a mid-range shot, or he can get around the screen and pull up for a three-point shot. He did all these things in the game. He did all those things in this game I'm talking about. Pick and roll, pick and pop, whatever it is, Jamal Murray succeeded. He succeeded. And the thing about Anthony Edwards, Nas Reed, Mike Conley, they were doing all they can. Mainly Anthony Edwards because he's a youngin. He was doing all he can. He put the team on his back. He made a spin around fadeaway mid range shot just to avoid the shot clock violation. Also, his scoring really help the Timberwolves make a comeback, but it just didn't pan out the way it was supposed to be as a result. What really hurt the Minnesota Timberwolves the most was honestly foul trouble, and they could have played better defense. And that's what I was saying earlier about the pick and roll situation with Jamal Murray. They couldn't stop it. And a lot of times Denver was just fooling them. And that there was one play where Nikola Jokic was wide open at the top of the key. He takes the shot. He has too much space. He has a great amount of space. He has a great look, and he takes the shot and he makes it. So that's the thing. They were so busy. Denver made it to where, okay, we're gonna let the defense collide to the inside. We're gonna drive the defense into the inside, and we're gonna leave an open man at the 3 point line. So the perimeter defense, the defense all around for the Timberwolves wasn't that great in that fourth quarter. So they continued to struggle in that. And honestly, that's all I could really say for that in the second half for the Timberwolves. But moving on to their performance wise, Anthony Edwards, 44 points, five assists, 5 rebounds. Their largest lead was 7. They had 48 points in the paint, 16 fast break points. They shot 47% from the field. And, like I said, it just honestly, they're gonna bounce back. This is just to Denver knew what they had to do. They had to come in and even up the series. They had to do what was necessary to win so they didn't get blown out. And moving on to the Denver Nuggets, Jokic and Aaron Gordon, Jokic 35, 7 and 7. Gordon 27, 6 and 7. Their largest lead was 18, 52 points in the paint. They shot 80% from the free throw line, 57% from the field, and they had 29 assists. So when it comes into play about the foul trouble, as I mentioned about earlier, um, foul trouble. Who are the players that I'm gonna mention who were in foul trouble? Mike Conley, who had 4 fouls, Jokic with 4, Gordon with 4, and Gobert with 5. That really hurt the Timberwolves because I felt like the Nuggets had the upper hand because not only because of their starters, because of their depth on the bench. Their bench played a big role in that game, and they really got out there. Sixth man of the year, Nas Reed, he had 11 points in the game, but you didn't really see much from the bench. And honestly, from the starters, you had Anthony Edwards doing most of the scoring. So you had Mike Conley with about 13, 14 points, and everybody else was just out of rhythm. So Gobert being in foul trouble really hurt the Timberwolves because he is a valuable piece to that team, and you need him on the defensive end because he'll be a big help for Karl Anthony Towns, just as Karl Anthony Towns is a big help for Gobert, and vice versa. You need a guy like Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, who went up head to head against MVP Nikola Jokic and made Nikola Jokic bail out and pass the ball to Aaron Gordon, which was a dunk. So that right there, what the Minnesota Timberwolves need to do going into game 5 is this. What they need to do is work on their defense all around. We cannot allow the Nuggets to get open shots in pick and roll situations from shooting from deep. You can't allow them to get in the paint because they're going to find creative ways of dominating you and making it difficult for you to catch them on a pick and roll. And Anthony Edwards, we understand how great this guy is. He's getting comparisons from people, they're comparing him to Dwayne Wade, they're comparing him to Michael Jordan. Anthony Edwards is his own man. He is his own player. But at the same time, we need guys like Mike Conley, the veteran guard, to continue stepping up and playing. Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, our best defenders. They have to get into that mode where they are very cautious. Don't be too not too cautious. Don't be overdoing it, but be aware of your fouls. Don't get yourself in a situation where your team really needs you and you can't be able to provide your talents and your skills for your team because you're in foul trouble. So they have to be aware of their fouls. Mainly Karl Anthony Towns because he was in foul trouble a lot against Phoenix in the first round, and also Gobert has to knock down those free throw shots in those clutch situations. The thing about the Timberwolves is they started off great in the first quarter and then it slowly got away from them. The energy just died out quickly. So it it is what it is. The Denver Nuggets won this game. Denver is going back home, so they'll play for their fans, and Minnesota just has to go out and close the series out. But anyways, that is all for today's episode. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload an episode. I'm Devin, and I'm signing off.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show.